Peace to all of the kings and queens that's out there. This is your brother, the 13th letter to the cipher once again on Friday. And this is a good Friday. Okay? Now we know why it's Good Friday, because of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Okay. But remember what I told you in a prior video. If he was crucified on Friday and he was to resurrect on the third day, what day would he be resurrecting? That's all I want to say about that. Okay. What else is going on? The pink moon. Has anybody seen the pink moon? There was a pink moon last night. I understand some people had cloudy weather or whatnot, but maybe you were able to see it. So if you see it or saw it, because if I'm not mistaken, there's supposed to be like residue from that, or it can still be seen. Okay, little, but it still could be seen. Not like it was last night. Okay, and I want to thank you all for viewing in today, because you can be doing other things besides sitting here listening to me. Okay, but it's a good thing that you're here, because this is one of the best informative shows out here on cyberspace. Okay, and what else is going on? The basketball, the playoffs is going on. So there's a number of things you could be doing. You can be spending time with your family. You can be having a beer. You can be smoking. You can be listening to that urban crazy music. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be listening to some other headbanger music. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, so this video is entitled Black History number 53, Saturn, Cults, and Religion. Okay. And when you're dealing with Saturn, cults, and religion, you have to understand symbols. And symbols are words that are not verbally expressed, but can be mentally and is mentally expressed. Okay? They're talking without saying a word. That is the power and energy of symbols. And you must remember that symbols are frequencies, and frequencies are symbols. Okay? And just from my experience, excuse me, having some burping. Excuse me, from my experience of living 50 years, I find no better way of programming your brain, no better effective way of doing that than by seeing through the sense of seeing, through the organs of your eyes. Okay, that is the most effective way from my 50 years of experience that you can actually program yourself in your subconscious. Okay. Now, sound is energy, right? And if you're into music, you understand that sound makes waves. Sound makes objects, makes designs, make patterns. Okay, that's what sounds does. And if you watch it, EQ or equalizer, and it lights up back and forth, if you speak into the mic, you will have all those different levels of sounds, different levels of energy, different levels of waves. Okay, and it's the same thing with anything. Just remember that sounds, and it makes patterns and designs. You can see that, like I said, with your little EQ. Okay, so that's no big thing. And that sound is transmitted through your sense of hearing, which is your ear organs, which transmit that sounds to your brain, to your chakras, which make you move a certain way. It gives you a rhythm, you know, in your body when you hear that boom, 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 or whatever vibe that it got going on in your chakra. But it is heard through the sense of hearing and the organ of ears, correct? Okay. Now, what does that have to do with Saturn mode? Just keep listening. Now, you have to understand that the universe that we see today is not the way that it was. The planets according to scholars, according to uh, astrology scholars and the fathers of astrology, which is Samaritans. They also say that the universe changes and things will not stay the same because the universe is live and it moves as well. Okay. And some of the references that I want to use, that I did use for this project, was Ancient Civilizations, Stolen Legacy, the book entitled The Saturn Myth, and The Worship of Saturn. Okay, those are my references. Okay. Um, like I said, this universe wasn't the same in the order in which it is, and the planets and the alignment of it is not the same, or was not the same, nor was the sun. The sun that we see today wasn't the same sun that the ancients saw, according to my research and these experts. And like I say, the most concrete expert would be the fathers of astrology, okay, the Sumerians, okay. Um, so before you think that what I'm saying is doubtful, you have to remind that the ancients saw what we didn't see. They knew what we did not know because they were on that same frequency, but on a different mindset. See, you can be on that frequency, but it can be so low because you bombarded with bullshit. But if you clean out your closet and get rid of that bullshit, that level, that sound of energy can become clearer, okay, and stronger. May I add, because you would be in more tune with it. And according to prior dynasties that was before Egypt, like I said before, the Samaritans, they had sun gods that they worship, like Shamash and Utu. Okay, they even had jewelry and money that they made with the crescent moon. Okay, but I'm gonna show you images of that too. And they use Saturn as little good luck things. They wore it around their wrists, they wore it around their necks. They wore Saturn for good luck because Saturn was the dominant light force in their sky during that time. It was not the sun that we see today, it was Saturn. Okay, cults, religion, Saturn. Now, this here is the dominant picture that they saw in Sumeria in the ancient world. This is Saturn. Okay. Now, according to the research and stories and of experts, Saturn had an explosion or a nova, and in that nova, it created a gas. Okay. And with that gas, with that supernova, became it became a light, like illuminated lights going all different directions and looked somewhat like that. Okay. Now with that same symbol of Saturn here, which is also the sun disk, this is where they can get the cross from that you use in Christianity. If you look at it here and you look at it there, they can draw that from Saturn as well, which we would get into with the modern day Christianity of Constantine. Okay. And like I say, the explosion took place on Saturn, and that force, that explosion, created sound waves. Now, at one point, Saturn was ringless. It did not have these rings that we see today. And according to the experts and the fathers of civilization, they didn't have any rings either until this explosion or nova took place on Saturn. And like I said, the sun disk was the sun god of the ancients, okay, before the Egyptians, okay. And that includes the Thainite kings, which was uh 10 kingdoms or generations before the Egyptian dynasties, but prior to that, you had the Nubians and Ethiopians, you see. But with its explosion, um, gases formed, okay? And from the reflection of the sun showed the gases in an illuminated way. And I had to draw this one out because I didn't get it, I forgot it. But it went a little like this, okay? This here would be Saturn, and this would be the gases around it and the reflection of it, giving you an image like that. And depending upon the time of the day, it can be like this. Depending upon another time of the day, it can be like that. But according to experts, this here is the most illuminated image that they got, okay? And this illuminated version that was accepted in ancient civilizations can not only be seen in their images in hieroglyphics, but it also can be seen on the hairdress, so to say, of our Egyptian sisters, like this. Okay, there you have the sun disk, and you have the horns of Saturn, which represented the gases that formed from the illuminated light after the explosion or nova that took place on Saturn. Okay, the goddess Hathor, whom is the goddess mother of Ra, she too had the Saturn disk and the horn image like view from the gases. And this is Hathor, okay? And she is a cow, supposedly, with these kind of gas images with the sun disk in the middle, okay? And the ancient world worship animals, okay? Another image of the goddess Hathor here with the sun disk and the horned gases there, okay? Excuse me, that is another queen. I'm sorry. That's not Hathor. That is another queen. Sorry about the words there. But that is another queen goddess, okay? With the sun disk and the gas image, horn images, okay? Now, she is Hathor. Hathor is the mother of Amun-Ra, the sun god. But she too had a cult of her own before Ra came into play. But let me give you the image of Ra, okay? According to my research and the experts, this would be the image of the sun god Ra. And if you look at it closely, it looks like a bullseye, but a bullseye can remind you of Saturn if you look at the rings around it, just like a merry-go-round or a what they call that, a Ferris wheel. Okay. And what does it say at the bottom? I'm not making this up. Okay. I wouldn't dare do that. So if anybody can help me out here, you know, if you feel that I'm saying something wrong, by all means, let me know. But according to my research, I think I'm nailing it. Okay. Now, the illuminated version that I spoke to you about when the explosion took place, when it was all finished, it looked somewhat like this. And this was also the cover of a book that I used as a reference as well and got bits and pieces from. And it is entitled The Saturn Myth, okay, by Donald Talbot. But you see that image right there? Look at that image. Doesn't that look like the images that I've been showing you thus far? Okay. Think about that. Now, philosophers and astrologers know that Helios means sun god. Even Plato learned that from the ancient Egyptians, and they were black. And Yes, I mentioned Plato. And if we understand historic history, we understand that Greek philosophy is really Egyptian philosophy. Okay. So Plato got that from the Egyptians. Okay. And the Egyptians got some of their school of thoughts and ideology from the Sumerians and so forth, the people from Mesopotamia. But if we really want to get down to it, what did the Thynites and the Nubians and the Ethiopians worship? That's a whole nother lesson. Okay. But the sun Saturn is not the same sun that we see today. It was Saturn. It wasn't this sun. Even in Heliopolis, which is an ancient city in Egypt, okay, that too is a sun city. Heliopolis means sun, right? Even with the pillars, I wondered, even though the pillars represent polarities from my understanding, could those not those pillars or those obelisk have could that mean like some type of symbolic uh, uh, drawing or pattern of the sound waves from Saturn? Because I said Saturn was at one time ringless, but as it went on, rings started forming. Now, some people say that those rings are was formed due through mass particles that was in space and all formed. If you really looked at Saturn, those rings are smooth. You hear me? And they look like sound rings to me. They're too smooth just to be particles that's in space. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they're sound waves. They're signaling something. Okay, and if you go to the Masonic lodges, or if you look at images of the Mother Masonic Lodge on Queen Street over in London, you will see a whole lot of Saturnalia images. And you must remember that these uh, so-called Scottish Rite Masons and York Masons and all of these people, they got their lessons from none other than, that's right, the Egyptians. So you think about that, okay? Um, what else here? The cube. Oh, I got something else to show you. Remember the Saturnalia things. So I'm show you more gods. Okay, that's one with the disc and the fog horn like things. Okay, which could represent the bull. Okay, and that's in both Sumeria and Egyptian culture. One is a bull, one is a cow. Both have horns, and so does other school of thoughts or cults. Okay, this here. Okay, Saturnalia. If anybody disagree with me, help me out here. Okay, Saturnalia. Okay, see the disc in the middle there, and the horns on the side. Saturnalia. This here, the Egyptian cow. See the horn? What's missing? The only thing that's missing, that's different between her and her Thor, is the sun disk, right? I'm just saying. Like I said, if I'm wrong, help me out. Now, this is what really tripped me out. Upon my research, I even found out that Saturn has a magic cube, okay? And this magic cube looks like this, okay? Not only is this the magic cube of Saturn, this is the magic cube of the Masons, okay? Right here. And if you can go either way, you're going to add up these numbers to be 15. You can go vertical or you can go horizontal. It end up being 15, but the numbers 1 and 5 makes what? 6. So you have 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and what have you. 6, 6, 6, all the way around the board. Okay. I'm just saying. So keep that out. All right. That's the magic cube of Saturn. But in addition to that, Saturn also have a signal of Saturn from NASA. Signal from Saturn. This is the signal of Saturn. Okay. Look at that. That is also another cube. Now, if I turn it this way, bang, what do you get? Does that look familiar to you? Not only is it the Masonic emblem, but it's also the 6-point star of David, okay, and Israel, okay. Now, this is crazy, but not only that, I got another photo here from NASA, and it has pictures of the North Pole of Saturn, okay, and that is that right there. This is the North Pole of Saturn, and it has right here at the top, it has an image of a hexagon, and the hexagon has 6 sides, okay? 6, the word 6 starts with the letter S, Saturn starts with the letter S, and Sun starts with the letter S. Even the name Solomon, starts with S, and every syllable in the word of Solomon, Sol, and On, means sun. You got that? Okay? And this is just the image of the South Pole of Saturn right here, okay, which also is a symbol of a hexagon representing 6, okay? Got that? What else is 6? Well, if you look at the Jewish flag that Rothschilds put into play, what is that? That is a what? A 6-point star. You look at the symbol of Russia that Rothschilds put into play is a symbol of a sickle. And if you study symbols, you'll find that the sickle represents Saturn. Even the gavel of a judge, if you look at how it's made, that which he hits down, on his desk, the gavel, look at how it's made. It's a disc with a ring around it. Saturn. Okay. And not only that, Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Okay. 6th planet from the sun. And what else here? You can look at the image of China, the China flag. It is the image of a sun. You can look at the image of Islam, that flag. It has a crescent. It has a crescent. Sun, moon, and star. Saturn. You have the eagle, the symbol of the U.S., which is a transformation from the phoenix sun. Okay. Saturn. You have the cube that's in Mecca, the Kaaba, the black box. In geometry, a cube is a hexagon, okay? And that black box, the Muslims sit in a circular manner. And part of their ritual is to walk around that, just as you walk around the Wailing Wall of Jericho. I'm just saying, Saturnalia everywhere. You even have the Bennu bird, Bennu, the Bennu bird of ancient Egypt. Saturn. If you look at the wings of my eye, it has the sun disk in there, but it also has that gas horn-like figure that illuminates that sun right in the middle. I mean, it really made it really made me want to go have a drink after really going through this. And it took me a couple of weeks to get this information, but I've been doing other things like bringing other messages or teachings or information to you all, but I've still been doing this in the background, and it takes time to get information. If you're serious about it, it takes time to get information, and it takes time to present it in an accurate manner. And like I said, if I'm saying anything wrong, somebody that knows more than what I do, help me out, okay? Um, Even with your current, the founder of the current modern Christianity, Constantine, even he worshipped the sun. Sol Invictus, okay? Sol is sun, S-O-L. Soul is son. And if you go to the book of Acts, chapter 47, verse 3, it speaks about the people worshiping Rephum, Rhephum, which is also Saturn. And the Jews go to the synagogue on Saturday, which is Saturn. And the ancient Rome capital is Saturnalia, which still exists to this very day. Okay, the Greek gods, Pan, Zeus, Cronus, Santa, Satan, Saturn. Okay, and speaking of Cronus, I look at the mythology story of Cronus and the mythology story of Amun-Ra, and I look at how Cronus swallowed up his children so that they wouldn't kill him, and Ra got swallowed up by Newt. They both got swallowed and eventually both got eradicated or exterminated or whatever word you want to use. Okay, I just thought that to be interesting because once again, I say, as the master teacher, George James said in his book, Greek philosophy is Egyptian philosophy. And when you understand where the Egyptian got their philosophy from, for people who don't know, okay, but I'm sure some people out there who know more, but keep it as a secret. Okay. Now, Saturn, according to the experts and from my research, is emitting frequency through the rings that you see now, which is transmitting sound waves to us, which are energy beings, right? So we receive the signal from Saturn, energy of Saturn, back and forth, good energy, positive energy, and energy is power. And what is power? Power, if you all remember, power is the ability to create phenomena and make it act according to your desire. Do you remember that? I do. Okay. And according to the pyramid text, King King Akhenaten, yeah, King Tut's dad, yeah, that guy. He helped write the pyramid text, and in there he said that they got some of their knowledge and help from celestial beings. Okay, the same thing that Sumerians spoke about. So it could be safe to say that came from Saturn. Even Sumeria starts with an S. Saturn. I just thought of that one. Okay. But I'm just saying it's making sense. But can many people accept it? And last but not least, you have now this here's the image of St. Peter's Square in Vatican City, and there's an obelisk right in the middle of that. Okay, right in the middle of that. In fact, that obelisk was stolen from ancient Kemet, aka Egypt, okay, and brought there. Like I said, some type of form of energy symbol. okay, which also looks like that Saturnalia image that I was speaking to you about. Here's a bigger view of it right here. Okay. And last but not least, bow! We got none other than the Baphomet. Okay. Now, if you look at the Baphomet, he has the horns just like the bull gods, Sumerians, horns like the what is the sister's name? What is the goddess name? Apis. Apis is her name. The goddess Apis of Egypt has horns. Now, if you was to take this top off of his head and place a disc there, would it be any different? Would it be any different that he's a half goat and half human, just as the Egyptian gods were cows and half this, half birds? You know, these gods have always been half something, and they've always had wings. Okay, I'm just saying. And here you can also see Saturn. So I'm just saying, okay. Like I say, you have the bulldog, you have Hathor, you have the Egyptian goddess, the Apis, which is the cow. You have Moloch, the bull, representing this economic system on Wall Street. He's a horn bull. So you have horn male bulls, you have horn female bulls, you have other horn animals like the goat. Pan, you have another horn animal, half goat, half human, Baphomet, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you was to replace, where did it go? I don't know where it went, okay? But if you was to replace that Baphomet horns, where did it go? Here it is, I got it. Like I said, if you can replace that at the top and put a sun disk there, would that be any different than other images than what I've shown you? I'm just saying, okay? Your banking, your politics, your church, your mosque, all of that is read on Saturnistic energy. I'm just saying. Just something to think about. And like I said, if I'm wrong about something, I humble myself to get informed. And I just ran across this and I found it very interesting. And I've been spending, like I say, some time really researching it. So I brought it to you, okay? And remember, Greek philosophy is Egyptian philosophy, and Egyptian philosophy is Sumeria, is Thinite, um, Thinite king philosophy, and Sumeria and the people of the Mesopotamia philosophy. And from there, we go to the Nubians and the Ethiopians, and you feel me? But what did they worship? I can't find anything maybe I didn't do enough research, but what did the Nubians worship? What did the Ethiopians worship? Now understand that all of these we're connected. You know, Ethiopian, Nubia, Kemet, Mesopotamia. I understand all of that. I have knowledge of self in that area. But what was the religion of that before the Thinite kings? I'm just saying, for those who interested in cults, which is religion, and religion is a cult. So whether you are Christian, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Zen, Confucius, it don't matter. It's all a cult. And I find that my people, one of the reasons that they can't prosper is they caught up in that cube, that energy, and the technology mentally that has been placed upon them through chattel slavery and current racism here in America and all around the world for that matter. Okay? But I hope you all are continuing with that workout thing like I've been doing, okay? Because I've been working out, okay? And if there's anything that I have said that you like or that encouraged you or that raised some questions in your head or sent off a light bulb, please by all means press the subscribe button. Tell your family members, tell your friends to watch the Mo Show. Press the subscribe button. The Mo Show Chicago. Press the subscribe button. I appreciate that, family, okay? And stay away from the popo. Don't drink and drive. Have some love, peace, and respect for yourself. Enjoy those playoffs, you all. Have a good Friday. Peace.